Hello, today I'm going to show you how to build these festive holiday trees for your church's platform design. Initially, when I posted a couple pictures of these things on Facebook, I got a lot of responses from people asking for the design. So I decided to make a video and walk with you step by step and show you how to make these. Here are the materials that you'll need. So I'm building 2 of these, but I'm going to be speaking as if we're building one just for the sake of demonstration. So if you're seeing 2 different stacks of each of these materials, it's because I'm building 2 at the moment. But what you'll need to build one tree is you're going to need 3 lengths of this 1 inch by 1/8 inch corner moldings. You can get these at Home Depot. By the way, all of these materials you can get at Home Depot, so there's nothing in here that you need from a specialty store. But what I found on the tag is that this is a 1 inch by 1/8 inch corner molding, and you can cut it to your desired length. A few of the ones that we built on the platform, the big one that you see in the middle, that is a 16-foot length, and then on the 2 on the sides, those are 10-foot lengths. These are going to be 6-foot lengths. So depending on what size you want the tree to be, that's what you need to cut it to. But you'll need 3 of those for one of the trees. You'll also need 3 of these 1 inch by 4 inch planks cut to length as well. These are 4-footers. The big tree up there is a 6-footer length, and then on the sides are also 4-footers. But for these smaller ones, I'm just gonna, you can see I've already made the marks there. These are gonna be 3 foot each, but they all need to be the same length. You'll need a bunch of screws. Just get a bunch of different lengths and different kinds, because you never know what you're gonna need. You'll need shoelaces. You'll need a box of these staples, and that's the exact size that you'll need. I'm not sure 10 millimeters, I suppose. But for our project that we did, they worked perfectly. So that's the exact size that you're going to need for those. You'll need a whiteboard dry erase marker and a pencil. You'll need gaff tape, black, if you can possibly swing that. And you'll need a few of these 4-foot by 8-foot corrugated plastic sheets. You can also find these at Home Depot. This is the kind of material that you see when you see a yard sign out in someone's yard. And it's called corrugated plastic. So if you're not sure where to find it, ask the person at Home Depot. They'll be able to direct you. And the last thing is you'll need a couple of these cutting boards. They can be wider than this, but these are the ones that I've been using. Here are the tools that you'll need for the job. You need a miter saw. You need a staple gun. You need cutting utensils. The most important tools in this group are these guys right here, the razor knives. Those are the ones you'll use the most. These are nice to have, but not all that necessary, just nice to have in a pinch. But these are the ones that you'll primarily use. You'll need some of this JB Weld clear weld. And it's really important to get the kind with the nozzle that you can see right there, because you're going to need to get into a few tight spaces when you're attaching the coroplast pieces onto the wood. So get a few of those. You will need a drill, hand drill, and you'll also need one of these drill bits. Not too incredibly important which size, just get one that's a little smaller than the screws that you're using. Now the first step in the project is you're going to need to cut angles on all of your baseboards. So what you do is you take your miter saw and you need to set it to 30 degrees. And then you're going to cut one angle for each of your planks, and I'll show you that right now. So I've just cut all of my angles, and as you can see, when you piece it all together, it forms a perfect equilateral triangle. So there's one cut end to a non-cut end on each side of this triangle base. So next you're going to take your drill with the drill bit, And I've already done this, but you want to drill through the side that's not cut, and you want to drill into the plank that is cut, like so. And you want to do that on all 3 sides. Then all you have to do is connect the planks with the screws. I went with these 1.5-inch wood screws. They seem to work fine for this size. Next, take the corner moldings and drill 1 hole through each side. And you want to do this on both ends. Take the shoelaces and run them through the holes that you just drilled. And then tie a knot at the top in the center. And you want to make sure that the corner moldings are in the formation that you want them to be in. I kind of like this triangular formation. It just seems like it's a little bit neater. And you also want to make sure that the knot is tied really tight, because if it gets loose, it's going to make it more difficult for you in the coming steps. Now you want to take that frame and fit it into the bottom of the base. And you can see that I've already got holes drilled. Now what you want to do is you want to screw these in place. Now we've got the frame all attached, and as you can see, it's super strong. Now all that's left to do is just cut off these extra shoelaces. Now here is where you're going to have to get a little creative. So the best way to do this is to lay the frame down on its side and work on one side at a time. The side facing the floor is going to be the one that you're working on. Keep in mind you're only going to be doing 2 sides because the back needs to be open. Now as far as the tops, we chose to do triangle shapes at the tops because we had a bunch of triangles already cut from a previous design that we wanted to utilize, so we went with that way, but you don't have to go that way. Also remember that this is your design, this is your platform, your church, so if any of this stuff doesn't work for you or you'd like to do a different creative pattern, then please, by all means, do that. I'm just trying to show you one way that does work. We really wanted to do kind of a zigzagging crisscross pattern because when we stood this first big one up, it kind of looks like there's something being wrapped around the poles going back and forth, which we really liked. So I will show you how to do that, but keep in mind, if you don't want to go that way, then do your own thing. So the way you do this is you take the 4x8 coroplast sheet and you cut it from one end to the other in a straight line. And you make that big long strip right there. That's where most of your strips are going to come from. So I've got one already cut, the next one that's going in. And while I'm here, I'll just show you how these are secured in place. So we used a hot glue gun first when you put the piece in. And what we did was we just put hot glue underneath there and then came along with staples, the short staples, and just secured it in place. So that thing's not going anywhere. But as far as cutting it, I'll show you kind of the process. So all you do is you have to kind of imagine where you're zigging from and where you're zagging to. So let's just say that we started over here on this side and where you went this direction. Now we're going to go the other way. So we're going to go from this one to this one. So you pick a straight edge and you just kind of fit it into the notch and slide the other end underneath the frame on the other side. And we did overlapping on some of them and others we didn't. Just depends on what you're feeling like at the moment. So you take the frame and you kind of hold it as close as you can to the piece. And you have to kind of visualize where this notch is on the sheet and just kind of pick out where you think that is and draw a line. So I've already got it marked. Looks like I just did another one. So we're going to cut this, and we're going to come back and see how it fits. All right, so we just cut our piece. Now we're going to see how it fits. Perfect. So the next step is to glue underneath on this side and on that side and staple it in place, and we'll keep moving. Now the last part in the process is making sure that you gaff tape the base everywhere. You want to make sure that you get the front part of it, the back part of it, and also the inside as well. And I know what you're thinking, that it's overkill and that's not necessary, but trust me on this one. You're going to be grateful that you did, because you don't want to get the trees on the platform and then be walking around and see a spot that you missed. I did that with one of the trees, and it is not fun getting in there and having to tape the spot that you forgot. So while you have the trees down off the platform, make sure that you gaff tape as much as you can around the base. You'll be grateful later. Then once you're done with that, you can put the trees on the platform and light them up. And that is the most fun part, because you get to see all of the work that you've done, and you get to see all of the light hit the trees, and that is just a really cool moment. And that's it. Other than that, make sure that you include people. Include as many people as you can, because then that takes the process from a job that you're doing for your church, and that turns it into a group effort and a ministry for the people that you include. And you're going to get people who are smarter than you, who know more than you, and who are more creative than you. And when you're all contributing, that's going to make for a much better project altogether. And then when everyone looks on the platform, they don't just see something cool, they see a project that they are a part of. And that is ministry. That is why we do what we do as pastors and as leaders. That's it, guys. I hope that you were able to get all the information needed from this video. If not, leave some comments in the comment section, and I will try to keep an eye on them and answer questions. I hope you enjoy making your holiday trees.